Hey everyone, it's Frog Slicer. I have a really silly replay to show you guys today. I am not the one playing the Self-Destruct button deck. I was playing ladder and I ran into this guy, Redemption. Um, so I'm playing my weird Flamvel deck that I've been messing around with. And I was thinking about titling this video something else. I was thinking about titling this video why you should build a side deck. Because the 9 times I'm referring to in the title is my opponent draws the game 9 times. They probably only get away with it because I don't have a side deck. If I had a royal decree or something, they wouldn't have gotten away with it. But here we are. So we're just gonna blast through all these replays, and you already saw game one. Saw a self-destruct button right away. And again, like I said, I don't have a side, so we're just kind of slamming into it over and over again. It was really interesting. I thought this guy was just trolling and wasting time, but this is the kind of deck I like, so I figured I'd play out these matches. I had no idea. I think I ended up playing for like 2 hours or something. It was so long. That might be an exaggeration. It might have just felt that long. But yeah, so the only way you can play around self-destruct button is you need to make sure that the life point differential is never 7,000. So you want to only hit them for lethal. You want to never let them get down. So the best thing you can do is play around Upstart Goblin. So that's actually why I bring out the Iron Chain Dragon, is to mill the Upstart Goblin. So that's exactly what happened. It was pretty cool. But yeah, you saw in game one, they used Inspection to pay life in increments of 500 to get down to under 1,000 so that they could just self-destruct button. So what's the point? Well, here we go. We see a reversal quiz. So the whole point of this deck is it's actually similar to a Magic deck. There's a card in Magic that's been used for a long time. I think it's called Serum Powder. And the whole point is you get to mulligan for free. So Self-Destruct button is just a deck that synergizes with Reversal Quiz, the Reversal Quiz support cards, right? So you pay your life down to nothing, and then ideally you have a way that when you use Reversal Quiz, it kills your opponent. And if you don't get to that point, then all you need is Self-Destruct button. So you get to keep on trying over and over and over again. So it's really interesting. You can go over redundant on all of the necessary support cards. So this is actually a very clever way of doing it. And here we see the Volcanic Scattershot. So he used Archfiend Oath, which is another way to pay life, to get the Volcanic Scattershot. Volcanic Scattershot is how they do the 500 damage. So they pay down to 500 life. They can do it in a lot of ways. We'll see this Battle Fader, maybe not this time, but in one of these later games, Battle Fader, he just switches it to attack position, and attacks to get his life to the perfect amount. So if your opponent is doing a good job in playing around, like the 7,000 life point differential, you can use your own Battle Fader to control your own life by attacking into whatever monster makes the most sense. So there's a lot of different avenues of defense you can have. So I'm actually kind of proud of these replays because, one, I didn't have a side, so it would have been trivial. But I found out pretty quickly how the deck worked. I never even saw the Reversal Quiz until one of the Trap Dust shoots. But I knew right away it was a Reversal Quiz deck. Otherwise, he was just trolling. It actually wasn't until after these matches were over I realized his win con was the Volcanic Scattershot, which is pretty cool. Because, yeah, his monster count's so low, he can get away with it. But yeah, so the whole point of the Serum Powder thing is you get to mulligan over and over and over again. So this is the equivalent of that. You just keep on tying games. Draw, until eventually you draw the nuts of a Reversal Quiz with the proper support. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. This is an interesting one because I sent back the Fader because Fader's more of a liability than Gores. And you need to, like, it's kind of a bait here to use Thought Ruler to attack over the Gores. You have to make sure you don't, because if you heal, you're helping your opponent. Yeah, so we're already in the 7 games that are drawn. And like I said earlier, the 9 games, question mark, that's the number of games. And here he self-destruct buttons again. So we're almost to the finish line here. And like I said, I don't know if this took 2 hours. I don't know if it took an hour and a half. And I actually ended up losing the match because I had to go do something else. I wasn't prepared to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For this long. But if this was in tournament and the exact same thing happened, whoever won the first game would have won the match once we went to time. Actually, I'm not entirely sure how that works. But yeah, this is an interesting interaction. So Destructotron, you pay the increments of 1,000. Insane under Cold Leaf is actually pretty clever. And this is where he does that Battle Fader trick. I think I'm cool for doing Double Magician. I'm like, okay, cool. I can just keep the life points high. But here he just normal summons his Fader to get into range to do the last self-destruct. So this is the final game. This is the one I win. And I'm pretty sure I just get there with Raikos and stuff. I think what actually happens here is he just kind of bricks, or maybe starts misplaying from fatigue or something. Um, it doesn't seem like the game just ends like in me destroying him. It seems like he just kind of peters out. Because if you've noticed all these games, I've kind of had the same amount of momentum. It's like some hands I'm just kind of smacking for 300, hitting with 200 with a Raiko, or I'm making an Iron Chain or like a double level 8 or something. So it's completely dynamic how aggressive my hands are. But really, it's just like he's just Brick City over here basically every single game. I think there was maybe one of all of his games that he actually had an opportunity to reversal quiz, but that also happened to line up with me having a very aggressive draw. So unfortunately, I think in the end, I just kind of got there. But yeah, so that was the end of it. I really thought this was super interesting. I knew I had to upload a video, especially when I had the 9 times thing again. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Peace out.